Is it really?
It's all Daniel, which is interesting.
For a guy that has 140 receiving yards and 1 touchdown on the season, I would say that's interesting too.
Correct. I just don't see any way that this isn't just an unbelievable problem tomorrow for Michigan State, both offensively and defensively. That's the way I look at it. I do not see how Illinois doesn't go in and do what they want against this Michigan State defense, even with the handicap of maybe not being able to throw the ball all over the place like Tommy DeVito has done. And certainly that's been a big help to this Illinois team when you know that, yeah, we've got Chase, we've got a Heisman candidate that's running wild, but we also have a kid that's got a quick release and is not only that, but as Derek Piper loves, he's accurate. So even with that, I think, being handicapped a little bit, I still don't see this Michigan State defense being able to stop Illinois. And on the flip side, especially if Michigan State can't throw, I just don't see them doing much against Illinois' defense. This could just be get that 14, 17 nothing lead early and just then on their sideline, they're like, we're done.
I agree, and I think that on that note, I wonder how Michigan State, and I'm curious what Stephen Brooks is going to have to say about this from the Spartans' perspective, is do they use this week with all of the, let's call it like it is, I mean, they're getting a lot of animosity in the social media, and for good reason for what those players did, but when they are the targeted in that sense, how do they respond? Do they just fold up shop and say, look, We've got this going on. We got some of our best players out. We've had a terrible season. We're underwhelming. We've lost a number of games here in this last round. I mean, they beat Wisconsin at home, but other than that, they've lost 4 out of the last 5.
Right.
Do they just say, we get down a score or two, we're just going to pack it in and get blown off the field? Or is it going to be
we're going to fight.
We're going to fight, we're going to be galvanized, like us against the world type stuff. They come in here and then they put up a little bit more of a fight than we would have anticipated or what it says on paper. So I think that's kind of going to be interesting. But yeah, maybe it's similar to last year when Illinois went to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Took an early lead and then just controlled the game throughout, and there was never really a huge threat of that opposing offense doing all that much against Illinois' defense. It wouldn't be shocking if that was a similar script, and maybe even Illinois, because of the running stats against Michigan State, when Illinois can do, would be even able to put up more points than what we saw in that Gophers game.
Got to take a break. Speaking of Minnesota, that's a common foe this year between Illinois and Michigan State, even though the Spartans are in the East. Michigan State lost to Minnesota bad, 31-7, I believe, 34-7. They beat Wisconsin in like double overtime, so they did get the win against the Badgers. And again, they've played Ohio State. They've played Michigan. They've played Maryland, who's a really good team. I can see that Maryland team coming over and winning the East or the West. I'm not going to lie to you. So, I mean, look, the East is better. We know this. Michigan State has played better competition than Illinois.
They lost at Washington 6-2.
There you go. So, I don't think Michigan State's going to be terrified tomorrow by this Fighting Illini team. Michigan State started the year ranked 15th in the country. Now, I guess that's irony, Illinois is like ranked 15th or 14th in the AP poll and 16th, of course, in the college football playoff rankings. But I don't think this is a Spartans team that's going to come in here and say, all right, look, this might be the best team we've seen all year. Maybe Illinois is. That'd be awesome. But they've seen Ohio State, they've seen Michigan, they've seen Washington. So they are going to be able to kind of catch up to game speed pretty quick, I think, against Illinois. I guess that could be maybe a concern. And Illinois is 0-1 against the East with Indiana. I'd love to play Indiana again. Oh, I'd love to play Indiana.
I would say so. But yeah, to your point.
With different officials down there.
Right.
Touchdown call.
Jay's talked about stylistically, it's not going to be a whole lot different than playing Michigan. Now, they got dominated in that game. Ultimately, Michigan pulling away in the second half, 29-7. But in terms of their last 3 results, you could even throw at Maryland in there as well, although I think Illinois would have a decent chance of beating Maryland.
I do too.
Decent to pretty good. But losing to Ohio State by 29, yeah, that's a lot, but a lot of teams would probably lose to Ohio State by 29. Beating Wisconsin at home in their own home environment, and then going to Michigan and losing a game where they didn't score a whole lot of points. A lot of teams around the Big Ten or the country would probably have those same results.
They held Michigan to a lot of field goals, right? So here goes with that red zone stuff that we've been kind of worried about with Illinois all season. So, all right. If you want to weigh in, 359.
You do not want to kick field goals in 29 miles an hour.
No, that's another good point. Yeah, there'll probably be a lot more fourth down go for it tomorrow in these conditions. So, again, 217-359-2255. That's how you get in touch with us on the U of I Lightning Link text line. Same number on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance Roll phone line. That is where Stephen Brooks is going to join us next to give us more info on the Spartans. You can follow us on Twitter at The Drive 93.5. I'm at Lon Tay, ESPN-CU.
I'm at Tay Piper 247. Our podcasts are on all platforms: iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can also go to tayandpiper.podbean.com. Stream us live at stevej.com, stevejay.com. YouTube.
It's up.
It's up.
It is working. I think Scott or someone is in there doing stuff, and now I see myself.
YouTube is back on the same day that I think Joel Embiid is back. Is there a correlation? I'm not sure, but there could be.
Well, I don't see us as a losing organization. Not like I see the Sixers. All right, we're back. Reminder, Luke Goody coming in the studio at 5:05. We're going to start visiting with Luke Goody once a week the rest of the season. I cannot wait. Stephen Brooks next. Talk Spartans.
Get back to the things you need and love to do with physical therapy at Mettler Center. Two of the biggest barriers to starting therapy are getting a referral from your doctor and insurance coverage. But good news, Illinois is a direct access state, so you can start therapy without a doctor's referral. In addition, at Mettler, we accept all major insurances: Health Alliance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, HealthLink, Medicare, and most recently, Aetna and Cigna. We invite you to schedule a complimentary 30-minute consultation today. Visit us at MettlerCenter.com.
What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana. They make you their number one priority.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
If you need insurance, you gotta go to Insurance Providers Group. They can help you like they've helped me. Hi, it's Jay Lehman. Insurance Providers Group can get you a quote on all aspects of personal, business, agricultural, life, and health insurance and employee benefits. They represent many insurance companies that allow them to provide you with the most competitive rates and the best coverage. Call Kyle Lewis at 217-352-7080 or email Kyle at ipgins.com or go to the website for a quote at ipgns.com.
Hey there, Illini fans. This is Terrence Stuber, candidate for Champaign County Clerk. Election day is November 8th, and just like Josh Whitman only wants to hire high-quality, qualified coaches, we need you to vote for high-quality men and women of integrity to lead in Champaign County government. Your vote is your voice. Don't let anyone else speak for you. Get out and vote, and go Illini. Paid for by Citizens for Terrence Stuber.
At the Long Branch Steakhouse, you know about the incredible steaks cooked to perfection. But did you know you can have your own private holiday or Christmas party at the Long Branch in Gifford? If you have a company party that you're planning, you can rent the whole place on a Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday night. To plan your event between 25 and 50 people, call 217-568-7722. We did it. It was fabulous. The Long Branch Steakhouse for your Christmas or holiday party. Limited nights are available. Call 217-568-7722.
Really appreciate it, my friend. Really appreciate it, my friend.
With the holiday season upon us, we at Gale Frericks Trucking would like to take time out to express our appreciation and heartfelt thanks to our drivers and support staff. We take pride in making family and safety the top priorities at GFT. This is Operations Manager Donna Onstadt, inviting all Class A CDL holders in Central Indiana and Illinois to join our family so you can provide for and spend more time with your family. We offer paid holidays and vacations, home time every weekend and holiday, the industry's top pay package, safety and operations bonuses, rider program, insurance, $4,000 sign-on bonus, and more. Call 765-793-7131 or email timo@gftlog.com to join the GFT family and get pay and quality home time you can count on. 765-793-7131.
That is funny.
Congratulations to Sarah Champagne. Sarah Honda has won the President's Award. This is an award recognizing the best Honda dealerships in America. Sarah Honda has achieved excellence in sales, service, and customer satisfaction. When you go into Sarah Champagne, you'll see what winning the Honda President's Award means with their outstanding focus on you. Visit Sarah Champagne and experience excellence with not only Honda, but GMC, Buick, BMW, and Subaru. Sarah Champagne, off Neal at Burwash in Savoy.
Hey, Line fans, it's Georgia B at Stevie J Broadcasting, and you are listening to the amazing ESPN Radio 93.5.
Have you ever eaten broccoli?
Yeah.
You have? I'm not sure, honestly, if I
I've had
have.
31 years to do so yeah, I definitely have.
I've had 52 years to do so, and I think maybe I did it once. And that was the end of that. Do you like broccoli?
It's okay.
Okay. That's why you're healthy and skinny, and I'm not. I mean, it just really comes down to that, I think. It's all because of broccoli. That's what it comes down to. All right, it is The Drive with Tay and Piper. I'm Lon Tay. He is Derek Piper. Luke Goody, Illinois basketball, is going to join us in studio at 5:05. Excited to see Luke. Assume he's in a walking boot. So we'll visit with him about the injury and how things are going. And, of course, the team getting ready to open officially Big Ten, not Big Ten, hello, Lon. Basketball, just the season in general, Monday night against Eastern Illinois at 8 o'clock. I know Stephen Brooks joining us now with Spartan Tailgate. I know you're going to ask Stephen about Tom Izzo's squad here in a bit, but first we got to tackle some football because, Stephen, for the first time in a long time, football is more important right now than the start of the basketball season. It's kind of a weird feeling up here, or down here.
I bet. No, I was just going to say that. You guys got to keep the football topics rolling for at least a couple more weeks. Got to be a sort of a new thing down there. So I hope everyone's having fun with that.
I am having more fun visiting about good things than I have the last few years visiting about bad. There's no doubt. And of course, it's kind of when you look at these two teams. You know, Michigan State had that unbelievable season last year. Now you got Illinois having their unbelievable season this year. What was that like last year going through that season with Mel Tucker and that Spartans crew as they just ripped their way to 11 wins? That had to be amazing. And then now on the flip side, it's like, oh wait, we're 3-5.
Yeah. I mean, it was magical. I mean, it was everything I think fans hope for. You know, especially because I think a lot like the Illinois situation, like it was unexpected, right? It's not like they came into the year, you know, at 15 or 16 or something, and then, you know, sort of met expectations. They came out of nowhere, and you know, it turns out they had one of the 5 best players in the country on their roster. He made a lot of things fun, made a lot of things easy, got a lot of people paid, you know, and you know, Kenneth Walker was the side that lifted all boats. Yeah, there was just something to that team. I mean, of course, you had him leading the way, and as I said, he made everything easy. He did a lot for that team. But beyond that, I mean, they won close games. They come back from 16 down to beat Michigan at home in a classic game, you know, against their rival, one of the most, you know, top 10 undefeated teams in that rivalry. First time in like 70 years that had happened. And then you go on and win the Peach Bowl in another comeback game. So they won comebacks, they won close games, they won the games that people really emotionally cared about. Of course, they got their heads taken off at Ohio State, but yeah, I mean, it was a blast. And then this year, you know, they're really missing Kenneth Walker. I mean, that's I don't think that's an oversimplification just because of how much he did. I mean, he made the passing game better just by being on the field. You know, I mean, he made the defense better by keeping the offense on the field and running a little clock and giving them a breather. made the special teams better by playing field position and whatnot. I mean, he really did touch a lot of different areas, and I'm not saying the only reason they're not good this year is because of that, but, you know, when it was a year ago where it seemed like everything went right and, hey, we need some here, oh, there it is, we got something. You know, it's like the opposite of that this year. It's like, what else can go wrong, almost, is how it's been so far.
Stephen, on that note, I'm sure you're surprised to get asked about this, but the situation in Ann Arbor last weekend after the game, for a team that's having a rough season to be 3-5 and to have things going against them and then have a number of players suspended, what have you heard about the reaction in that locker room and what that situation has been like in East Lansing? We heard Mel Tucker, a bite from him earlier in the week, and he said he hadn't even watched Illinois film, imagining because there's been so much for him to deal with off the field.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I mean, I think I would have, if the fight and incidents never happened, I would have said, you know, maybe this will be a real test for Mel Tucker, and maybe this can be a circle the wagons type of moment, and they can go down there and spring an upset on Illinois, because with as great of a year Illinois is having, like, I don't think it's an insurmountable team. I don't think the talent gap is outrageous in the sense that Michigan State just can't play its best game and win. I would have said something like that. Now, though, with the suspensions, with how limited and thin they'll be on defense at certain spots, I don't see that happening at all. I mean, there's just really no way. Unless Illinois plays the worst game of the season, Michigan State plays their best. You know, I mean, it had to be something goofy like that. But to your point about what the message is, I mean, I think they are a little bit trying to refocus here. I mean, the really the only goal left is to make a bowl game. I mean, they didn't. A week ago it was beat Michigan to make a bowl game. That obviously didn't work out. Now it's just make a bowl game and try to sort of salvage the season. I know a lot of people have already checked out. Big picture, the goal is Mel Tucker has to hang on to this recruiting class. You know, they got, I think it might be down to 12 commits right now. The numbers aren't there volume-wise, but they got 8 4-star kids committed. They just need talent, right? And that's what Mel Tucker is being paid for at the end of the day, is to recruit at a level that Michigan State never has before. So that's really priority number one. With these guys, you know, there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of experience. I'm sure they want to finish this out and try to salvage something and make a bowl game, even if it's an irrelevant, off the radar, you know, no name type of game. You know, and if they lose this one on Saturday, of course, then it's got to be a win out, you know, the rest of the regular season, and that includes a trip to Penn State. It's going to be really tricky. So there's a lot on their plate right now, and there's not a lot to really feel good about, I guess, if you're being honest about it.
In terms of the guys that are out, I know Jacoby Wyndham, a guy that has 5.5 sacks, and as an edge rusher is going to be a big loss. Anybody else that is really significant in terms of the suspended guys that won't be able to play on Saturday?
Yeah, he's definitely the biggest one. He's switched up to linebacker the past 2 games, and has done some pretty good things there. And he's been a little bit of a liability in pass coverage, but as a run stuffer in the box has been really good. The other ones that are really notable out of that suspended group is Angelo Gross is a 3-year starter for them on defense. He's been a nickel. He's been a free safety. Moved back down to nickel recently. And look, not a great player by any means. If they could have replaced him a long time ago, they would have. But they're very thin, experience and talent-wise in the secondary. So he's just rolls out there in the starting spot every week. But he's not a guy that's necessarily a plus player for him. But he's played a lot of football. And his backups, have not. So that's really where they'll miss him, I think, because they're going to end up playing some safeties that just don't have much seasoning. And I don't know what they're going to do at the nickel spot. I don't know if they go back to Chester Kimbrough, who's the guy who got benched earlier in the season, or if they go young and give somebody their first snaps. I don't know if that's advisable in such a big spot. But he's really the only other one. Him and Zion Young, a freshman defensive end who started the past 2 weeks, was sort of just an overlooked, late add to the 2022 recruiting class, and it's really panned out to be one of their best and earliest, immediate contributors. Guy doesn't play like a true freshman at all. He's had some really nice splashes, and so they're now extremely thin on the defensive line. With him out, he was starting. Brandon Wright, who's the guy who started games at defensive end, he's out for the suspension. Tank Brown is another defensive end. He's out for the suspension.
Wow.
So they've really got 3 or 4 healthy guys that have even played some football for them. And it wasn't a very strong position to begin with. So those are the main ones. The rest of the guys will kind of just fill in or special teams or less. Guys that just don't play at all. But those are the main ones.
Stephen Brooks, he's our guest. Spartan Tailgate. I love that name because Derek Piper knows how much I love to tailgate. Of course, Pipes does too. So we all like to do that. Stephen Brooks, our guest, talking Spartans. Spartan Tailgate. It's a 24/7 site. You just mentioned all that on the defense and all the guys that'll be missing and the issues. And like Piper and I were talking about, I mean, basically Illinois is the team that can run the ball. Michigan State's the team that can't stop the run. This year, Michigan State isn't running the ball, and Illinois is stopping the run. So when it comes to the ground game and what could be the biggest factor tomorrow due to the wind, it just sounds like this favorably goes Illinois' direction, and I think you're kind of noticing that as well and stating that.
Definitely. Like I said, with their full deck of players, I would have given them a shot to rise up, play their best game of the year, but it's just completely unreasonable, unrealistic for me to foresee that at this point. I know their rushing defense numbers are not good, but the strength of that defense is their D tackles. And when those guys are healthy, Jacob Slade, their best one, didn't come back. He missed from week 2 up until Wisconsin a couple games ago. And he made a major difference. He's, his best. He's an all Big Ten type of guy, no question. Simeon Barrow, number 8, next to him, is a little more of a penetrator, pass rusher, disruptor guy. He's a very good player. Could probably, be a fringe third-team all Big Ten guy at his best, maybe. And then they've got some old experience. They can go 5-6 deep at defensive tackle and just keep rotating them in. So those guys can cause some havoc for you in the middle and make it tough to run on. They really haven't gotten just bludgeoned over and over and over. They've given up some chunk plays that have maybe made some of the numbers look worse. And look, they haven't been great against the run. I'm not trying to say that, but it's not a D-line, it's not a front that you can just line up and gash for 3 and 4 and 5 yards over and over whenever you want. Maybe Illinois will do that because that's what they do best. But that's sort of their only hope is that their D tackle. But with being so thin at end, as I just mentioned, with 4 or 5 guys out there. It almost negates it. You can be strong in the middle, but if they just run off tackle and load up and run on the perimeter and everything, then that strength is kind of taken away a little bit. And then, as you said, on offense, Michigan State can't run the ball on anybody. That's been true since they stopped playing MAC teams. Their offensive line is substandard. They don't open holes consistently at all. They'll protect Peyton Thorne decently well, but getting to 100 yards rushing has been a chore. They've really only done it, I think, maybe twice against Power 5 teams, if I'm just spitballing there, not many at all. So their run game is basically non-existent. Their whole offense right now is predicated on, their outside weapons, their tight ends just making plays. And they do have some really, really good players at receiver and tight end. That can hurt you, but they just haven't been able to string enough together to make them a lethal offense this year. But the perimeter players one-on-one can really make people pay in a lot of situations.
To follow up on that, Stephen, I want to ask one more on football and then get a basketball question in there before I let you go. Keon Coleman leads the team with 6 touchdown receptions this year. He's been a breakout player as a sophomore. Jaden Reed, last year, 10 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. Numbers are down a bit this year. How do you think Michigan State will try to utilize those guys tomorrow, albeit windy conditions, a good secondary for Illinois, but like you said, those guys can be game breakers. How do you think that they will be utilized, and what are you imagining the game plan being for Michigan State to get things rolling offensively?
Yeah, it's tough when you add in the elements, right? Because most of those guys' big plays have honestly just been on 50-50 balls deep. Keon Coleman is 6'4", 215. He plays basketball on the side. He had at least a dozen Division I basketball offers coming out of high school. The kid had triple doubles, like once a week as a high school basketball player. He's an extremely, extremely athletic guy. If you throw up a 50-50 ball to him, he's going to win it more than 50% of the time, for sure. And he's done that. I mean, you just look at the Michigan tape. It's basically 4 catches, all went for like 40 yards, and 3 of them were all just sort of that jump ball, just out-muscling the defender for it in the air. So he can do that. And that's the way, and Jaden Reed can do that too, even though he doesn't have the measurables. I don't know if the wind will allow them to throw those the way they want. They haven't really gotten too creative beyond that, honestly. So maybe there's some new wrinkles that they can get introduced and get those guys the ball underneath and make them make things happen. But, an area of the offense I think they haven't tapped into nearly enough is the tight end. You guys know Daniel Barker. He's shown some really good things when he's gotten the ball. I think he's still he might be over 10 catches this year, but he's definitely under 20, I'm pretty sure. He hasn't gotten enough targets, in my opinion. And they got another tight end, Malik Carr, who looks even more the part than Daniel Barker does. I mean, this guy's 6'6", 250. Every time he touches the ball, something good happens. I mean, it's a first down, it's a big catch and run, it's a touchdown in the red zone. He just makes stuff happen. And when you get, like I said, 6'6", 250, get that guy the ball in space, you know, your scheme doesn't matter anymore. Your technique doesn't matter anymore. It's that huge dude with the ball, and it's me, and I got to bring him down. You know, I just don't think that's a weapon that they've used enough this year. So maybe with the conditions, with some short passing stuff, they can get both those guys involved, because I thought last week was an opportunity for that to happen, and it really didn't.
Last one for you on the basketball side. Depending on the projection, seems like Michigan State in that fringe top 25 range, top 3 to 5 team in the Big Ten, depending on the projection as well. What are you thinking about this Spartans team for Tom Izzo? I know they have got good guard play with A.J. Hogard and Tyson Walker, Malik Hall, whether he can fully break out or not. What are you thinking about this squad, and what has to click for them to really reach back into the top tier of the Big Ten, where recently they've kind of been middle of the pack?
Yeah, it's a tough one to read right now for many reasons. You know, the only reason that I give them a shot to be competitive in the Big Ten is just because I don't think the Big Ten is going to be that good. And as I look at it right now, I mean, it's completely up for grabs for the most part. So if we're in February and MSU's jostling for like a top 3 position, yeah, that's not going to blow my socks off. I won't be super surprised. But if they finish 6th or 7th, I won't be surprised either, right? I mean, because when you look at it, they have a core of older veteran dudes who played a lot of college basketball. When you have as many of those as you have at Michigan State, you're going to win some games, right? Like I'm talking about, you mentioned Hogard, Tyson Walker, Malik Hall, Joey Hauser, Jaden Akins. These are all older, for the most part, older 5th year, 4th year seniors, juniors, all that. Played a lot of college basketball. You have that core, that's going to win you a decent amount of games. On the other end, they might have the weakest center position maybe in the league. You know, Tom Izzo opted to not use the transfer portal, rolled with his guys, primarily Mady Sissoko, who's a very raw, very unproven junior, you know, hasn't played a ton of basketball, and he's a guy that's liable to go out there and have 3 fouls by the first media timeout. You know, like I said, just very raw, sort of swinging his arms all around, just kind of clunky and everything. He's gambling on that working out, and then 2 freshmen behind him. So that's, you know, they're naturally going to lean a little more small ball, a little more high scoring, a little more backcourt oriented, which has not always been Tom Izzo's style. So how comfortable is he going to be, you know, trying to outscore some people? He's said and done some things this preseason that he really has not before. Whether it's actually playing, you know, practicing some zone defense, it's become a joke that he says it every year, then he never runs it. I actually think he might run it a little bit this year. He's talked about, you know, not worrying so much about what we're giving up, but we're leaning into our strengths. And to me, that means, like I said, backcourt oriented, trying to outscore people, not necessarily trying to stuff you in a locker and outmuscle you, you know, like Michigan State always does. So if he can lean into that and some guys take some steps, maybe they have something here. But like I said, it's a really tough team. I would err on the lower side probably of the predictions at this point, just because I don't think the center position is going to be a good I don't think that's going to shake out very well for them. And as much as I like their backcourt, I don't think they're super high level to carry them to any kind of title or anything. So that's kind of where I see them right now. You know, it's been hard to tell too without Jaden Akins. It's probably going to be a 30-minute a game guy on the wing too, and then one of their best defenders. He's out with a foot injury right now, and he's expected back any day, but he hasn't been involved in the preseason, so it's been hard to read without him in there.
Excellent breakdown. Stephen Brooks. Follow him on Twitter at @StephenM_Brooks. Now, Stephen, I'm always good for a dumb saying or a dumb thought each day. So today I did buy some Brooks chili beans. Is that in the family? Are you loaded?
Chili beans? No, I wish.
Oh, man! Okay.
I wish.
That's big down there.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to do some tracing, some DNA, you know, testing and whatnot, and all that whole deal. Send in my saliva and find out 6 months from now.
Your siblings are all making cash, man, and they're like, don't tell Stephen. He has no idea.
They're cutting me out. We're going to have a real problem.
Well, listen, man, it's very nice of you to join us, giving us some thoughts on the Spartans football and basketball. Should be windy, should be a little rainy, should be ugly, and I think Illinois is kind of wanting all of those tomorrow as they get this rolling. Stephen, thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you guys for having me. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Stephen Brooks. Again, follow him on Twitter at Stephen M_Brooks. He's with Spartan Tailgate, a 24/7 site. Michigan State, isn't that funny that Tom Izzo Tom Izzo's like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not using the portal. Is he going to get over that, or is he going to continue to do it?
He should get over it.
I was going to say that or retire.
It's pretty dumb.
That or retire.
And if it wasn't for a really stellar 2023 class, he'd be in a position where I wonder if Michigan State would get back to being in the top tier of the Big Ten. But he loaded up. Xavier Booker's a 5-star. Got Jeremy Fears. They're going to reload with some really talented freshmen next year. But if he's going to stick to not going to the portal, which is weird because Tyson Walker's from the portal, Joey Hauser's from the portal, but this offseason he refused to do it. And like Steven said, they have a really glaring hole at 5 where they're probably at times going to play Joey Hauser, who's like 6'8", at the 5.
How is Joey Hauser still in college? I mean, is this Trent Frazier on steroids? How's he still playing?
On the scale of, at the very end of the scale is Connor McCaffrey, who's still in college.
Right.
And Joey Hauser's somewhere.
Man, he's
after that.
He's pushing the Jess Settles thing in Iowa years ago. Or the big, I can't remember, was it Randy Brewer at Minnesota? Seemed like he played for 900 years. That's what they're pushing right now with Joey Hauser. Of course, Michigan State always has a Joey Hauser. They always have that dude. So that's probably who I'm thinking of for the last 20 years. You know, that guy, that dude.
Like a Matt Costello.
Yeah, exactly. You just nailed it. Joey Hauser, you said, is like 6'8". How tall is Luke Goody?
Around 6'7", 6'8".
He is in studio right now. He's visiting with Stevie J. I can hear him. When we come back, we're going to be visited by Luke Goody. We're going to do this every week. Most every week, I assume, unless there's a complication. But we're going to do it all season and have Luke on to visit about Illinois basketball. Of course, we'll get caught up with him on the injury, the surgery, how it went, and just get ready to roll with Illinois basketball. I know Pipes is chomping at the bit to get this season going. Monday night officially starts against the Eastern Illinois Panthers, 8 o'clock at State Farm Center. Let's take a break. When we come back next hour, Luke Goody, it is the drop.
This is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Windows. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands, owner of Lands Inc. You never realize how much you rely on the plumbing in your home until something goes wrong. A small leak can end up with a big repair if it's not taken care of right away. At the first sign of trouble, visit landsinc.com. While there, learn more about plumbing, drain cleaning, and underground solutions. At Lands Inc., our commitment is to you, the customer. We look forward to having you be a part of the Lands family. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Does that work? Can you still see the...
You spend half of your life indoors. That's half of your life underneath your roof. Who do you trust to keep you safe and dry underneath it? The name to remember is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors understands the harsh weather conditions that your roof endures because they're a family and locally owned business. From your community for your community, the doctors who make the house calls, Roof Doctors, at roofdoctors.com or phone 328-7529. Rest easy under a roof that's been treated by Roof Doctors.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign, way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
Since Illinois football's inception in 1890, a root value has always been honoring those who serve to defend our country. Join us at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, November 12th for Military Appreciation Day and cheer on the Illini as they face Purdue and battle for the Cannon Trophy. Tickets are available now at fightingillini.com or by calling 866-ILLINI-1.
There's one name you need to know in car repair in the Central Illinois area, and that's John Marshall. John is the owner of PDR Automotive in Urbana and makes it his mission to know that your car will start when you come to pick it up. John strives for a repair in the most efficient time possible and is the right person to take care of your car. From tires to engine to electrical to the simple oil change. Trust in John at PDR. 1008 North Cunningham in Urbana. John's team will take care of you like family.
Champaign County, this is Terrence Stuber. I am asking for your vote to restore integrity to the office of County Clerk. Irregularities, secrecy, and a disregard for the election code have placed us under heightened scrutiny these last 4 years. You deserve better. We cannot sit by and allow this to continue. If you believe accuracy, efficiency, and integrity still matter in local government, please vote Terrence Stuber for County Clerk between now and 7 p.m. on November 8th. Paid for by Citizens for Terrence Stuber.
One of the most frustrating things homeowners deal with are those stubborn drains that never seem to drain right. Slow or backing up drains, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Get your home's drains working properly again with the Hydro Jetting Machine. And for those issues that you just can't see, the underground camera inspection can get those stubborn clogs. Thinking about your sump pump? Dogtown also offers maintenance agreements for your entire home's plumbing needs. Call Dogtown today at 217-841-4728 for a home inspection. Mention this commercial for an additional 10% off. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Check. I literally just create madness.
Well, they're up.
I'm going to go off here.
They don't have a great quarterback.
I got to take a break. I'm getting in trouble.
To win the Big Ten, you first got to win the West.
Bad Bunny. Have you heard his name in a while?
No.
Has it bothered you?
No. Defensively, they got to come in with some confidence.
Is that even analytics?
I'm in a parking garage, kind of lost.
Terrence Shannon, Matthew Meyer, RJ Melendez, Coleman Hawkins.
I didn't come here to go 5-7.
I'm so proud of Illinois football right now.
I'm so tired of Joel Embiid.
We're not taking Patrick Porter.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh.
You are Reba McEntire's niece.
Roshan Russell.
Coach Bielma.
You no longer salute to yourself.
What? We got all kinds of things for you here.
There's a lot of glass.
Oh.
Guys, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's The Drive.
Schmack Nose. All right, here we go. Now and good evening. It is The Drive. ESPN Radio 93.5. Tay, Derek Piper. The intern Kyle is here, and we've got a special guest in studio. That would be one Luke Goody that we're going to welcome into the mic here in a second. Going to be joining us all season, and I cannot wait for this as we roll along. Now, you loyal listeners know on Friday at 5:05, I always allow you to tip a cold one, and we do a little drink for the getting through the week, getting ready for the weekend, and of course, Illinois, big football game tomorrow. I'm not going to do that with Luke here. We're going to be responsible and respectable and do that when he leaves. So we will not do the drink session with Luke here. When he gets to be 21.
We don't want to get him in trouble.
Exactly, yeah. When he's 21, then we'll maybe do that with Luke. But Luke Goody joining us. What's up, buddy?
Not much. Thank you for having me. I'm excited, to talk about basketball, football, everything above. So
I love that you said football, and I know Piper's chomping at the bit to ask you about a certain position, but how fun is it on that camp? I mean, Luke, let's be honest. I don't care about you guys right now. No, I'm kidding. I do. But isn't it amazing how football and what they've done has really grabbed a lot of the headlines, and I'm sure campus is swirling right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just a different feel than campus last year. Last year they weren't the greatest team. Coach Bielma really didn't have, his guys yet, but now he's got, some of his freshmen that he recruited and a great transfer quarterback that's fun to watch. And, the feel around campus is just awesome because instead of being excited for basketball season, you got both seasons to still be excited for. I mean, the football team could, I think there's a thing on social media that they could still make the college football playoffs.
That's
so,
crazy.
After we're on week 8, week 9, and you still have that opportunity, there's a lot of hype and excitement around a program like that. So.
If you would have had Chase Brown behind you, you probably wouldn't have quit playing quarterback, would you?
No, absolutely not. No, he's a special player. It's fun to watch him.
With Tommy DeVito has given Illinois for first time in a long time a legit above average quarterback in the Big Ten, able to make some throws and keep defenses off balance. As a quarterback yourself who was really good in high school, what have you seen from Tommy?
He's really good at not making mistakes. He just plays his role, does exactly what he needs to do, and gets his playmakers the ball. I mean, you got a lot of wide receivers out there that can make plays this year. I think that's a bigger difference from last year's. You got 3-4 guys that can break somebody off and go get the ball. So, and then when you have a quarterback that can deliver it, I know he had some success at Syracuse and then came here, and he's really having a year leading that team to 7-1, right? 7-1, 8-1, something like that.
6-1 right now.
6-1. Okay, well,
but
7-1, 8-1. As the
I'm with you.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
already just piling them up. I'm with Luke Goody on that.
Yes. So,
it is 7-1.
Oh, it is 7-1. My fault, Luke.
Okay.
We're both
Don't
wrong.
take one away, Luke.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, he's a great player, really fun to watch, and I think he just does a great job in Coach Spielman's offense.
Now, we'd get in trouble if we just asked you about football the whole time. So
Yeah,
let's get this out of the way first and foremost. The Kansas scrimmage sounded like you were playing really well in that. You started for the team, and at the very end of it, you broke your foot. How did the surgery go, and what's kind of been your process from that moment until the surgery?
Yeah, the surgery went really well. Dr. Porter out of Indianapolis, he did a great job. He told my parents and myself that the surgery was successful. Everything that needs to be there is there, and now it's just about recovering. I'm in great hands here. Paul Schmidt, shout out to Paul Schmidt, athletic trainer at Illinois, doesn't get a lot of the respect and the hype that he should, because he's responsible for getting us back on the court and stuff, all the guys when they're banged up. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with him. It's really a week-by-week thing, honestly, how I feel, how I recover. I'll get reevaluated in 6 weeks. I know Coach Underwood told the press that today. So go back and see how everything's going in 6 weeks. But, I mean, every day's a new day. So just keep getting better and keep healing.
Luke, what was the initial reaction from you when, I know you said you were closing out kind of on a play there and stepped on a guy, but what was your initial reaction? Because, look, you're an athlete. You've been an athlete for a long time. I mean, you're young, but you've been an athlete a long time. You've probably been injured before. And I don't know if in your mind you go to the absolute worst, or do you just go to the, I just sprained my ankle, no biggie? Or could you tell right away that this could be a problem?
Yeah, so I've never really broken a bone truly, but my dad has, because he played football in college. So, he's told me, if you feel pop, you probably broke it. And right when I came down, I felt it. But I didn't really want to believe it. You have the adrenaline going. You're playing the top 10 team in the country, so you're excited. You don't want to leave. So I kind of hobbled off the court, told him I needed a sub, but I went to Coach Underwood on the bench, and he could tell you this. I said, I want to go back in. I'm ready to go. He's like, we'll just hold you till we get to the offensive segment. And then I went and sat down and took off my sock, and it was pretty bruised up and swollen. And the doctor was there. Dr. Henricks was there, one of our team doctors, and came over and kind of gave me a look and said, yeah, we probably got to get you some X-rays. So at that point, I wasn't upset about the injury at first, or emotional about it, and then he told me that, and I was like, this could be pretty bad. I mean, you never really know, and it's not a pain that I felt before. I didn't really roll my ankle. I kind of stepped and felt kind of that pop.
Just a little pop.
Yeah. So I was like, this could be pretty bad.
Well, here comes Mr. Optimistic. Well, it could have been worse. You've been told that your whole life. Well, it could have been worse. But it honestly could be. And obviously a bone you just have to let heal, right? Maybe not a ton of therapy, but certainly Luke Goody's not a kid that wants to sit around in a boot while everybody else is shooting hoop and playing games. How hard is that going to be? How hard was it when the first practice rolled around and you couldn't go out there? And then Monday night, how difficult is that going to be for you?
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, you're talking about the next practice. I was upset watching my teammates finish the scrimmage. So I was like, Coach, put me back in. But no, I mean, it's just going to, I think, really strengthen me as a person, because I'm going to have to, transform from this on-player role model and leader for the younger guys and my other teammates, off the court, still being vocal and stuff. One thing that I've really tried to do is, although I can't practice, is be there for every single second of the practice. Obviously, don't be late, but just be around and still be involved. So involved that it's like I'm there, but I'm not there. So I still try and be that guy, on the sidelines in practice, that's still talking to the freshmen and stuff like that. So that's the approach I'm taking. I'm in with Paul 3-4 hours a day, trying to get different work on my foot and ice and movement and different type of stretches and stuff. And then once I get to the point where I can lift and stuff like that, I'll be with Coach Fletch, hour, 2 hours a day, just really working on all the stuff I need to get back, so I really don't miss a beat, and I can just go right when the doctor gives me the green light, I can just go right back into it. Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yep.
Get you a Nerf hoop at the apartment or something, put the foot up, and just get the strokes staying the same, right?
Lay in bed and shoot a basketball at the ceiling, all the movies and stuff.
Yep. How does this team, in your estimation, make up for you being out, and how do you think they'll be able to adjust without you out there on the court, your three-point shooting, your IQ, and all that stuff?
It just gives an opportunity for the younger guys to step up. I mean, everybody saw the potential in Sincere, a guy that a lot of, people have thrown his name out there recently about, just being able to step up. Jaden Epps is obviously going to be a great player in Sky. They're kind of a different position than me, so it's hard to fill in that void. But, you got Ty, who's a different player than myself, but he can bring that same energy and, leadership, leading by example. He's going to be great for us. Matthew Meyer is really going to have to step up. I know he's in the past hasn't played a ton of minutes at Baylor. He was more kind of a 18 to 24 minute guy. He's going to really have to step up and play some more minutes, knock down shots just like everybody else.
What did you take away prior to your injury from that Kansas scrimmage, going up against a team that's ranked preseason top 10? What did you see in that? And just, you could even throw in the Quincy exhibition as well. Have you seen from the guys here recently?
We have the potential to be really, really special this year. That's what I took away from it. We played Kansas, in a really close game. I don't know if I'm allowed to get into specifics and stuff like that, based because
toe-to-toe.
Yeah, just exactly. And a couple of the guys didn't have their greatest games that are great players on our team. So when that happens and you get close to or beat a very, very good Kansas team before everything's put in and the team is developed, and I mean, think about it. More than half of our team hasn't even played together, and we're already playing a top 10 defending national championship team, to a close game. So when you got that type of cohesion in such a small amount of time, just think about what goes on over the 6 months of the season. So, my takeaways from that in the scrimmage is this team could be really special. Coleman Hawkins, you guys see, he's special. Terrence, all those guys. It could be a really, really fun year if everything goes, how we think it will.
Luke is savvy. Somewhere Brad Underwood is listening, we like to think he does.
Oh, yeah.
He smiled when he's like, I don't want to get into anything I can't get into.
He knows.
So this is going to go well.
Yeah, well, that, and he said there'll be laps you've got to run if you come back.
Exactly, yeah.
And you don't stay out of trouble. I know Pipes probably wants to get nitty-gritty with some of these guys on the team. Luke Goody, by the way, is our guest. To the layman fan, I guess, these scrimmages, obviously we understand how big those can be, and without getting specific, how good are those things for a team? In other words, obviously you're playing against each other, and then all of a sudden, you're thrown in the fire normally against a comparable team, and we like to think comparable against the Kansas squad. So what does that do? Is that something that you really, especially with these freshmen, you see their eyes open a little bit going, oh, like I see what we're now up against?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because before the game, I went up to all the freshmen, I'm like, you're nervous, aren't you? Like, you're a little nervous, aren't you? And they were like, yeah, man. I was like, just trust me. You're going to play that first minute. After that first minute, you're good. Everything will go away. You'll just get in the flow of the game. You'll be good. But I think those things are so important. Last year we didn't have one, so I didn't get to really experience it.
Sure.
So I just got thrown into the fire, in front of 15,000 fans in the exhibition, which was different. But now this year, it's a close scrimmage, it's just the coaches, so you really don't have much to be worried about.
Yeah.
So those guys were able to, I was just like, listen, go out there and just play hard. Like, the only thing that could happen is you mess up, but nobody sees it, like nobody will know. And I think it's huge for the film aspect of it too, because in practice, the preseason practices are so tough, because if the defense has a good day, coach is on us about bad offense. If the offense has a great day, he's on us about, being able to guard our guys and not being.
We can't win.
Yeah, exactly. So when you go up against a different team, different jerseys, and you get that film, you can see what guys bring to the table. A lot of role allocation, I think that comes into it too, because you're not in practice. In practice,
right.
It's 10 guys on the court on the same team, so you kind of get a mixed thought of what you're supposed to do. But with that, the film that we got from that scrimmage and the teaching points for the young guys especially, and the new guys that don't know the system, that coach, needs to teach, what he does to those guys and help them with that. So I think it was all around just such a beneficial thing for our team.
Pipes will get us back in, but I came up with one more thought. What is it like to play in front of a sold-out State Farm Center and you're out on the court? Do you see the crowd? do you hear the crowd? I would assume you hear it, or are there times where maybe it's all just one noise and you don't really honestly hear that?
That's exactly what it is, in my opinion. Like, everybody's going to say something different, I think.
Sure.
But for me, it's like, you walk in to do your warm-ups and everything, and, you run out with the team with the fog, and you just get chills. Like, especially for myself. I was a huge basketball fan growing up, like, always watching Big Ten basketball and just college basketball every weekend, every weekday. And, to have that opportunity to wear an Illinois jersey and run out, and you just get like, it almost like stops. It's like a surreal moment for me. Every single game too. Every single game I ran out, home, away, all that stuff. Yeah. So, but once I get in the game, I've learned to control my emotions. Once I get in the game, I think that's a huge part of being a veteran. Is you learn that stuff, experience. But I mean, in terms of the noise, it's just like, it's just kind of there.
Here we go.
You're so locked into your assignments and the scouting report and what coach has to say and your teammates, and you just don't really think about the crowd, unless somebody hits a big shot. And
then you really.
And then you're like, okay, well, now I can't hear anybody on the court. So, yeah.
That Pipes, it's this, right? It's that when they're coming out and they're like, oh, whoa, hey, yeah, it's time to shoot. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. That's awesome.
Luke, at what point did you feel like a veteran last year? Was it different? Because thinking about the freshmen this year and understanding that there's going to be maybe a roller coaster and there's inexperience early on, what was different about the beginning of the season for you last year versus maybe January, February? What was that process like as we kind of look at what Sky and Jaden and Sincere and Tyre to go through?
Yeah, I would say when I started feeling really comfortable about the situation, it was two different times. It was when we played our first away game at Marquette in the building, because then you were like, first away game, you had people talking trash, all the stuff about an away experience. And then I was able to, play through that game and just get through that game. And then the Michigan State game, once you kind of have that, breakout game, or as people like to say, the better games, statistically speaking, you kind of just like settle into everything. I mean, then you have confidence that you can compete at this level, that coach knows what he's getting from you, and all that stuff together and combined really helps yourself with confidence and just being able to continue on, and have that poise about yourself.
Sure.
Now, in that answer, you said talking trash, and you said Michigan State. Switch that around, State of Michigan. I thought Hunter Dickinson. And I think with you on a mic here, are you going to be able to provide that for us, or is that the lane you're going to pick?
I mean, I'm not a big confrontational guy on the mic. I like to take it to the court and stuff like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and talk trash about other teams and stuff like that. So I don't know about all that. But.
You don't mind doing it, though, on the court, do you?
No, not at all.
And that surprised me. I don't know why it would surprise me. I don't know you that well. But last year you're talking about a team full of veterans and seniors, and when Pipes would come in, he'd be like, oh, yeah, everybody just keeps talking about how good he's talking trash and leading the team in that. That's surprising. Have you always been like that?
Yeah, I'm super, super competitive. Anybody that knows me knows, like, if we're going to race to go get food from the fridge, I'm gonna win that. All the small stuff, I'm super competitive about. Me and Coleman, we play like the game Sorry with.
The board game.
Yeah, the board game.
Oh my goodness.
In our room, because we're roommates and stuff. And we'll play with other people, and that gets competitive. We'll be talking trash and stuff like that. So
fights.
When it goes to practice, we'll be doing just a walkthrough segment or something like that, and we're all playing hard, and I just want to win and talk trash. And last year I was kind of the young guy, and I didn't want to look soft. So you gotta come in and have some type of swag and stuff, right?
What about that second half against Houston? I know it didn't end well in the NCAA tournament, but just the idea that you and RJ came in and just kind of righted the ship. You kind of calmed everyone down, and you guys stepped up in a huge moment like that. Is that, you talk about, okay, guys, you're nervous. You had to have been a little nervous, or I guess once the season's played through and you get to the NCAA tournament, were you? And how were you able to do what you did?
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting situation because he played a little bit in the Chattanooga game, maybe a couple minutes, and I didn't really play. I didn't play.
Right.
So we, took the approach, we were really, really close in the sense of, we helped each other out last year, kind of in the position we were at. It's a tough position for both of us, freshmen, in and out of the lineup. So it was both of our, mentalities. You got to stay ready. You got to stay ready no matter what. And, after that Chattanooga game, I was like, RJ, I'm telling you, we're gonna, really need to play against Houston. And, we got that opportunity. We were just able to come in and provide. I think I hit my first shot maybe 30 seconds to a minute into the game.
That helps.
Yeah, and then after that, I mean, you got no worries. No worries. You can just play freely, especially like, some of the guys were struggling. So, if you come in and make a change or something happen, then you're going to get extended time. So after I hit that shot, I was like, all right, now, let's go. Yeah, let's go. So I think that was also a huge motivator for us too going into the offseason. We're like, man, like this really could be, our coming out party. Now people are going to start talking about, the progression that we'll take in the offseason into the season. And I know a lot of people were talking about RJ for most improved player, stuff like that, which is, true. He's such a great player. You guys saw it in the scrimmage. He had 15 points, leading scorer, I think. But he's just a special player. So that, I think jump-started both of our careers in terms of getting us to the next stage and level in our developmental careers.
Absolutely.
How much does that help to have someone that's in similar shoes as you to be able to go through the tough times and the good at the same time?
Yeah, it was good. All three freshmen, last year pods obviously transferred, but we were all in similar situations. We all came in, usually when you're, rankings don't mean anything, but when, you're highly ranked and you go into a school, you think that, you're going to get some more opportunities and stuff like that. And last year that wasn't the case. And most times, which is completely fine. We were able to, develop in different ways and go on about it like that. So we were able to, just bounce ideas off each other, stay level-headed the whole season, and just keep each other, ready to go and stuff like that. Because we all had different, times during the season where we helped our team win the game, and without us, it would have been tough to win the game. Pods at Northwestern, 2 big shots, a couple passes. Yeah, he. If you ask anybody, he's the reason we won that game. RJ, Northwestern at home. Yeah. He had some big games as well. So just being able to, have those 2 other guys. Obviously, Pod's isn't with us anymore, but RJ just keep each other level-headed and focus on what coach wants for us is the biggest thing.
I know no bulletin board material, especially in the preseason. Now we want to get you going on Indiana at least one time throughout this season. We got to do that once, and maybe just for your family, because Indiana people, Trent Green, your uncle, and everything. But
a lot of connections.
That's cool, man.
How about let's start with this? Who's the sorriest at sorry on the team?
Sorriest at sorry. Cole. I beat Coleman a lot. I do. I beat him a lot. At Madden, that's our other game that we play. I gotta bring this up because he's gonna laugh at this when I say it. But Terrence, I beat Terrence a good amount. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's tired all the time. He gets up at 5 a.m. to go shoot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's in the gym super early, so I hear him. He's actually my roommate too, and he lives across the way. So I'll hear an alarm going at 4:15. I'm like, dude, come on, man. like some guys get their shots up at 4:15 p.m. So let me sleep a little bit. Yeah.
Turn that off.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Well, look, we're not going to overdo it here on the first visit from you, but we really, truly appreciate this. You're going to join us all season. We're excited about this. Obviously, the injury we weren't counting on, but certainly your inside perspective of this team is going to be really fun. And personally, as a guy that grew up around here and always my entire life said, why don't we get kids from Indiana to come to Illinois and play basketball? And for you to be one of the very few, and I'm talking on one hand, I think I could list them. I'm so thankful that you did that, and I'm excited to see what you're going to do in the Illinois Orange. But let me ask you that to close out for me, and then Pipes, you can close it for you. Why aren't there more? Is it do kids look to the West when they are in Indiana, or why is it that there's just so few that come this direction?
That's a good question. My first initial response would be there's 2 in-state Big Ten schools.
Right, no doubt.
And then you also have Butler, a really good mid-major program.
Some great teams
you
in
have
Indiana.
Indiana State, who's historically one of the better programs. Notre Dame at ACC. You got 4 technically high-major schools in the state of Indiana.
That's a great point.
In all good basketball programs, that's the thing. It'd be different if it was, and you also have Ball State, who's a pretty good MAC program.
The old Rick Majerus days back in the day.
So, you got so many, IUPUI, PFW, even all those schools, you have so many programs within the state that, the top talent likes to stay in the state. They like to play for their hometown and stuff. I think that's one of the biggest reasons. You got a lot of Indiana guys that go to Michigan State for whatever reason. I know Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, that's right.
Stuff like that, but, that's probably what I would have to say.
That's fair. That's a good answer.
So that's kind of.
Well, I'm glad you came here.
Yes, trust me, I'm really glad I came here too.
That's awesome. You want to wrap it up, Pipes?
I'll say it. It's interesting that Luke comes here and now Indiana's a team that doesn't shoot the three that well.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I give you the Luke Goody, excellent stuff, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. These always go so quick. Look forward to each week doing this with you. And do we have a set day? Is it normally going to be Thursday?
It'll depend every week on the game times and game schedule.
Oh, that's
stuff.
true.
Yeah, but yeah. So we'll figure stuff out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be around the same time.
Okay, tell Brad to quit trying to sabotage our show yesterday.
Exactly.
Coming in saying, "Oh, wait, if Luke's supposed to be on, we're going to call a walkthrough at 5." I know what he's doing. No, I'm kidding. Luke Goody, thank you, buddy. We look forward to doing this more often, my man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
All right, buddy. That is Luke Goody, and I want to tell you about our sponsors for Luke Goody. Apple Dumpling, really appreciate them coming in and sponsoring the interview with Luke Goody that's going to occur every week during the season. Apple Dumpling, also Max Twin City Recycling. You've heard about them. They have been around forever. Dogtown Heating and Air, another great quality business in Champaign-Urbana. And, of course, the U of I Alumni Association. Of course, the U of I Alumni link is our text line that you can text in at 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. Thank you to those four sponsors for making this happen. We are back, getting you back dialed in for Illinois and Michigan State on the field tomorrow. We're back. It is The Drive.
Illinois football is back. Shop at Game Day Spirit this fall and gear up to support your Fighting Illini football team. With football designs and brand new apparel from top brands, they're the one-stop shop to get everything you need this football season. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Thinking of selling your home? Today's market is crazy, but one way you can be sure to stand out is by replacing your old flooring with new hardwood. And the best place to do it is Carpet Weavers in Champaign. Carpet Weavers boasts the industry's best brands, including Shaw, Mohawk, Paramount, and more. When it comes to natural beauty and a rich quality, nothing beats new flooring from Carpet Weavers. And they have financing options for your budget, so you can always afford the floor you truly want. Increase the value of your home by installing new, high-quality options from Carpet Weavers. Find out more online at carpetweaversflooring.com.
If you want a steak, I mean a steak, prepared the way you want it, you've got to go to Long Branch Steakhouse. Hi, it's Jay Lehman. It's been over a year since I was introduced to Donnie at the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. And when I want a great steak, that's where I go. And the side, the Brussels sprouts, the mac and cheese, and the salad with Donnie's secret raw dressing. Long Branch Steakhouse in downtown Gifford. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9 p.m. There's always room for the Long Branch Steakhouse.
We're not far from the new year, and it's time to start thinking travel. Hi, it's Stevie J with Stevie J Travel, inviting you to our travel show, Champaign Public Library, on November 16th from 10 to 11:30 in the Robeson Pavilion Rooms A and B, and find out where we're going in 2023. Places like New England, Rails and Trails, or Tuscany for a culinary journey. How about Hawaii and a little island hopping, or maybe the Canadian Rockies and glaciers, or how about Cuba? Yes, Cuba's on our agenda next year as well. Find out all about it. Come to the Champaign Public Library November 16th and learn about where you might be going in 2023. Again, Champaign Public Library is where we'll be November 16th from 10 to 11:30 in the Robeson Pavilion Rooms A and B. For all the information, go to StevieJay.com. Stevie J Travel. Where do you want to go?
Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center is open for public swimming. Lap swim Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Public swim Monday through Friday 6 to 9 p.m. and Saturday noon to 5 p.m. Memberships and punch cards available. Also, a great place to rent for parties. Swim this fall at Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center. For more information, visit urbanaparks.org. Urbana Park District. You belong here.
Gonna go to the game?
Need a little good news in your life? State Farm has new lower car insurance rates in Illinois, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow at an even better price. That's right, State Farm can help you save more cash and get the good neighbor service you deserve. It's the real deal for car insurance. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you save in Champaign-Urbana. Call Kurt today at 352-1411. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The 2022 Big Ten Football Championship game presented by Discover returns to Indianapolis December 3rd at Lucas Oil Stadium. Tickets are on sale now at big10.org/FCG tickets. Every ticket also includes complimentary admission to the Big Ten Fan Fest presented by Dr. Pepper. Don't miss the action. Purchase your ticket today for the 2022 Big Ten Football Championship game.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Yeah, some of them don't say that. Like, there's a lot of those.
Totally Christmas Open House one last weekend at Prairie Gardens. Enjoy 3 final days of Christmassy open house cheer this Friday through Sunday. Sip and shop with food tastings and brand new collections. Enjoy exclusive 3-day open house specials and enter to win your favorite decorated Christmas tree free. One last weekend this Friday through Sunday with a Totally Christmas Open House at Prairie Gardens, your Christmas destination for over 50 years.
Hi, I'm Jay Lehman. As a former elite athlete, my chiropractic care is very important to me. I believe in it, but sometimes chiropractic care can be expensive and inconvenient, but not at the Joint Chiropractic, located at 2003 South Neal. Not only does the Joint have great chiropractors, it's affordable, convenient, and no appointment or insurance is necessary. Text Champaign to 56468 to claim the new patient special, $29 for a consultation, examination, and adjustment at the Joint Champaign.
Saturday, March 25th, it's Cody Johnson and Friends, live in concert at State Farm Center. Tickets are on sale now for Cody Johnson and Friends.
I guess all I'm saying is forgive me if I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still learning to be human.
With special guest Randy Hauser.
Let me show you how country feels.
Cody Johnson and Friends, live at State Farm Center, Saturday, March 25th.
Oh, nice.
Tickets for Cody Johnson and Friends are on sale now. Get yours at StateFarmCenter.com, the Illinois ticket office, and by phone at 866-ILLINI-1.
Hey folks, this is State Senator Chapin Rosen. J.B. Pritzker's running around the state asking for your vote, telling you everything's fine. Well, you and I know it's not fine. Go to the grocery store. It's not fine. The Safety Act the governor signed it into law, saying it was great, and then 2 weeks before the election he says he wants to change it. Why is that, Governor? Maybe it's because you should have never signed it in the first place. The incompetence knows no bounds. For our state retirees, group health insurance program, he signs and inks a deal with an insurance company that doesn't even have local providers of health care for our citizens to go to. What kind of a governor does that? Is it a governor that's deliberately doing his job for the best interest of the people of the state of Illinois? Or is it a governor that really doesn't know what he's doing and signing whatever people put in front of him? At the end of the day, folks, I stand up to J.B. Pritzker in Springfield. I'm asking for your vote on November 8th, but this is also your chance as a citizen to tell J.B. Pritzker and the rest of the Democratic Party in this state, from the county to the executive mansion, that you've had enough. Please join me in voting Republican. Paid for by friends of J.B.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Georgia B. Catch my boys Lante and Tay Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 on The Drive. Boom, boom, brr.
Can't believe how short he makes it. I mean, even me too.
Isn't that funny how tall? I mean, Piper scales over me and then looks at me is like this far over you. It's like, what in the world? I'm going to give the sponsors one more credit. So, good stuff with Luke Goody. That was awesome. Again, want to thank Apple Dumpling. Then I just stopped the music.
Killed the music.
I mean, Lon, you know what I can do? I can put it again. Want to thank Apple Dumpling. Want to thank Max Twin City Recycling, Dogtown Heating and Air, U of I, Alumni Association. Luke Goody coming in the studio. We got some pictures with Luke. You're a lot taller than me, Pipes, and then you look like me to you with Luke Goody. I mean, it's just, how's that feel? Take that, Piper.
It feels like I needed to work on my guard skills a lot more growing up because I played the four-man, quote-unquote power forward, and then I look like one of the smaller guards out on the court.
And he's like a 2.
I know.
He's 6'7" or whatever, or more, and he's a 2 guy. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing how this works. So, hope you enjoyed that. I know a lot of you have texted in about that on the U of I Line Lake text line. Going forward, probably be a lot of Luke Goody on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance Roll phone line because obviously he's not going to be able to make the trip down every time. We'll try to hopefully get him down here one more time before it's said and done, but certainly great to visit with him again today and just kind of set the scene for what we're going to do all season, which will be really fun. All right, Kyle is here. What's up, Kyle?
Sorry to disappoint everybody. I am not Luke Goody, though.
You know what? You deserve it. You absolutely. It's kind of funny we bring Kyle in right after Luke Goody. It's like
tough act to follow.
Wow. Everybody starts turning the channel. It's like, what else is on? There's got to be music on I can listen to. No, you wouldn't, because we love Kyle. We love Kyle, the intern, and we want Kyle in here because we're going to go over some football games that are going to be happening. Of course, Illinois-Michigan State's the big one. But there are certainly some big college football games this weekend. I know there's not a lot of sexy ones in the Big Ten.
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of like following our NFL theme, right? Every time we do this, we have horrible games to choose from, but you know, there is some idea with Iowa, Purdue, something to look forward to on something like that. And then, of course, we'll go a little national. So I'll let you take it away, my friend.
Okay, yeah, we can
You're
start.
actually not my friend yet. Like, I haven't really known him long enough. Pipes, do you consider Kyle a friend yet?
I did yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because you said don't be mean to your friends.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, all right, Kyle, we're friends. So go ahead. Thanks for not being Luke.
That train is louder and louder.
It does. I think they know.
They got to know.
Like the engineers are like, dude, we're getting on the drive 93.5 every time through final. Now there's like engineers.
Free advertising.
Yeah, they're fighting for this time of the day. Like guys that normally are from like 8 to whatever, or maybe they come in at 5, they work till like 1. They're like, no, I want that second shift. I want the horn that I blow to be on the drive. Next week we're shutting it all down. Purdue week.
Oh, I just meant the railroad.
Oh, no. Well, that would be tricky. That'd be a little tricky. That probably wouldn't be good for the goods and services in our country.
You're right.
So, we better keep that train rolling. All right, Kyle.
Okay, we can start in the Big Ten. I'll just kind of run through them, and then if there's a couple semi-interesting ones.
If there's something you guys want to grab a hold of, otherwise I'm just going to throw it through.
We got Ohio State and Northwestern, in which Ohio State is a 38-point favorite. So that's to start things off.
Do they even have to play this game? Like, could they just literally say, hey, Coach Fitz, how you doing, man? Kevin.
Probably not well.
Right. Ohio State has offered to just take this as a bye week. Are you good with that? He'd be like, yep, we're good with that. We'll have some Devo practices. Yeah, Ohio State big. Shocking.
How many games did Northwestern win last year? Like 2?
Yeah.
And now they're a 1-win team this year? Does at some point, I'm not going to go obviously the direction of do they push out Pat Fitzgerald, but does Pat Fitzgerald say, maybe I should go somewhere else?
Wouldn't Northwestern, you'd think, with all the alums they have, there's money that comes out of that place.
There's money. And you've seen their practice facility,
yes.
I think.
You would think they'd be pretty competitive on the NIL. Of course, let's don't forget, hasn't he taken Northwestern to the Big Ten championship game twice?
Yes.
He has.
I mean, think about that.
So maybe this is just a blip on the radar.
Yeah. Think about how giddy. Of course, can you imagine in 3 years we win 2 games, and then now we're on 1 win, and what are we feeling then?
Did Northwestern go winless in the Big Ten last year, too?
I think.
And they...
And
well, actually, they do have a win this year against Nebraska. I forgot.
Oh, that's right. They started the season with a big win in Ireland.
Yeah.
Ireland, I am coming home.
They beat Rutgers last year.
Okay.
So they were 3-9 last year. They're 1-7 this year.
I'm going to go ahead and put that Ohio State game in the parlay. Click.
You going to take the 38 points?
No, I never do that. Although I would.
If you put the money line in there, it might move up a cent.
Right.
That extra cent's going to really matter.
This is going to be something like 60-something to 10.
Ohio State could use the bye week. Northwestern could use the groupthink on who's going to be the new basketball coach after this season, because probably is not going to be Chris Collins.
Imagine being a Northwestern fan in general right now. Your football team now is on, what, year 2 or 3 of just being putrid, and you know your basketball team. I mean, they got some veterans back, but I could be a veteran. You know? And still not be good.
Veteran does not indicate talent.
Right. Experience, but yeah.
Lost Pete Nance.
Oh, that's right. All right, Cal.
Minnesota travels to Lincoln to take on the Huskers at 11 a.m.
I was hoping it could only go up from there, and it did a little bit.
Slightly.
Minnesota and Nebraska. I would assume for one of these teams, this is a big game. I mean, can Nebraska still make a bowl? Can Minnesota? I assume Minnesota can still make a bowl.
Minnesota's 5-3.
Oh,
so
they're 5-3.
If they win this
I'm
game,
sorry.
they're bowl eligible.
Okay, that's my fault. I kind of have lost. Like, once we put teams in the rearview mirror this year, that's how cocky I am right now. I'm like, yeah, don't have to worry about the Gophers anymore. I don't care what they're doing. So, obviously, this could be a big win for Minnesota. And if you're Nebraska, I guess you can still scratch out 3 more wins. Or are they 3 and something?
They're 3-5.
Yeah, I'll go Minnesota.
Nebraska 3-5. After this, they get at Michigan, Wisconsin, at Iowa.
Oh.
Now, again, Wisconsin and Iowa sound tougher on paper than they probably really are.
Agree.
If Casey Thompson plays in this game as a game-time decision, I wouldn't be shocked if Nebraska won at home and pulled an upset. They're 14.5-point underdogs.
You shouldn't be proud of hurting people, but isn't it funny how, like, every time a quarterback plays Illinois, the next week they're like questionable?
Yeah.
Your boy
Physical
from Minnesota
defense.
was, yeah.
Tanner Morgan, yep.
Tanner Morgan. I'll go. Oh, you're going to go Nebraska? Well, yeah, with the caveat. I'll take Minnesota.
Maryland and Wisconsin from Madison. Maryland 6-2, Wisconsin 4-4.
I'm taking Maryland. This is a good football team. This is a really good football team. I mean this when I say this. I think Maryland would be second behind Illinois in the West if that team was in the West. That feels good to just be like arrogant and just be like, they'd be second behind us. I think Maryland gets this done. I'll take the Terps.
This is tough for me. Because Jimmy Leonard's still kind of my guy.
He is.
Still kind of my guy. Home game, they're 500. Needs a strong finish to solidify that he's going to get the job.
Can he slow Tua like a Balagaba?
They just beat Purdue.
Yeah, they did. Thank you.
If they can slow Aiden O'Connell, they can probably slow Tagovailoa. I'll take the Badgers.
Is that how you say it?
Well, we got a game in West Lafayette that has a few implications
for
Illinois, Iowa, and Purdue.
Still have to beat Purdue.
Quick note, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great for Illinois if Wisconsin got hot and won the last 4?
Yeah, because they pretty much beat everybody we need them to beat, wouldn't they?
Well, and just look better on the resume.
Oh, well, no, that's a good point. It's a great point. Because what's your best win right now? Iowa?
we did not count 1, 2, 3 either.
Did you say it too, Kyle?
I didn't, but that was just so perfect.
The same pitch with a question mark at the end.
I see where you're going there. Purdue's already played Iowa. And I'm sorry, they play Iowa this week. They've already played Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin beat them.
Blew them out.
That's right. Okay. I'll go Maryland. Or did we go on to another?
You're on the wrong.
Oh, that's right. We went to a new game. That's right.
That's how much he likes the Terps. I'll go Maryland.
What's that? What's the next game?
Iowa and Purdue is the one on you.
You know what?
I butted in on that. As my
No. You know why I messed up here? You know why I messed up. We've made everybody wait, and people are out there and they're sending bad karma my direction, and they're like voodooing me. Like Lon's not going to be able to remember anything if we don't do this.
That bad sober karma. Right
Yep. It is Friday. You've lasted now in 43 minutes longer than you should. But congrats on making it through the week. Illinois, Michigan State tomorrow. Tailgating at 7 a.m. Woo! Let's go.
Happy hour.
Oh, that just sounds so delicious. Oh, yeah! All right, let's get through the Big Ten.
The last two games probably have a combined margin of victory of about 80.
Ohio State.
Well, we already.
Oh.
We did Ohio State. We got Penn State and Indiana from Bloomington.
I'll take Penn State. Penn State sometimes can have a stinker. They could have a stinker and still beat Indiana. I'll take the Lions.
A stinker would help Illinois in terms of potential Rose Bowl.
Oh, yeah, we kind of need Penn State to lose. It's a good call, Kyle. This is in
Indiana and Bloomington.
Can they do it?
A great time to have a game, Indiana, but Indiana has lost 5 straight.
I'd love to.
With Penn State, Ohio State, their next two.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll go Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State.
Good.
And then Michigan travels to Piscataway to take on Rutgers.
Yeah, I'll go Wolverines. That sounds like you could parlay some Big Ten games and win you at least 8 cents. And somehow Rutgers would win. I'd be like, are you kidding me?
Is this game with the rack?
I don't think so.
Okay, Michigan.
Okay, I'm going Michigan on that. All right, before we go national, we got to take a quick break, play some commercials. This is what people do. They pay to come on our show, and we appreciate it more than they know. We're back to wrap it up and give our predictions as well for Illinois, Michigan State. It is The Drive.
Illinois football is back. Shop at Game Day Spirit this fall and gear up to support your Fighting Illini football team. With great football designs and brand new apparel from top brands, they're the one-stop shop to get everything you need this football season. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands, owner of Lands Inc. Is your plumbing system showing signs of cracks, sewer water infiltrating the basement wall? How about the things you can't see, like your underground drain and sewer pipes? A Lands sewer camera inspection and exclusive pipelining process can restore old pipes to like new quality with very little intrusion of your yard, and most projects can be completed in a day. Once installed, this will give you peace of mind that your underground drain and sewer pipes will be protected from root and water infiltration and increase the structural integrity with a one-piece liner. Visit landsinc.com to learn more. I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
We're not far from the new year, and it's time to start thinking travel. Hi, it's Stevie J with Stevie J Travel, inviting you to our travel show, Champaign Public Library, on November 16th from 10 to 11:30 in the Robeson Pavilion Rooms A and B, and find out where we're going in 2023. Places like New England, Rails and Trails, or Tuscany for a culinary journey. How about Hawaii and a little island hopping? Or maybe the Canadian Rockies and glaciers? Or how about Cuba? Yes, Cuba's on our agenda next year as well. Find out all about it. Come to the Champaign Public Library November 16th and learn about where you might be going in 2023. Again, Champaign Public Library is where we'll be November 16th from 10 to 11:30 in the Robeson Pavilion Rooms A and B. For all the information, go to StevieJay.com. Stevie J Travel. Where do you want to go?
Hey there, Illini fans. This is Terrence Stuber, candidate for Champaign County Clerk. Election Day is November 8th, and just like Josh Whitman only wants to hire high-quality, qualified coaches, we need you to vote for high-quality men and women of integrity to lead in Champaign County government. Your vote is your voice. Don't let anyone else speak for you. Get out and vote, and go Illini. Paid for by Citizens for Terrence Stuber.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Hey, this is Ben Grice at the Humble Hog in downtown Paxton. And if you haven't been up to Paxton for our barbecue yet, let me tell you, you don't need a reservation. Just come on up. Barbecue with us is about as casual can get. We've got all your favorites. We're talking brisket, pork, amazing smoked turkey, our sausage. And while you're there, be sure to try the Paxton Punch. You can thank me on that later. Check us out online at humblehogbbq.com.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie J Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Officer Panko, recently responsible for a drug arrest that resulted in a large quantity of illegal narcotics, seized including over 1,100 LSD doses, ecstasy, mushrooms, and cocaine. You probably are able to identify the various drugs by now, huh?
Yeah, for sure. And it wasn't hard in this case, just with the quantity of it. That was one of the bigger drug busts that I've been a part of. I'm glad that those drugs are off the street.
How long did you work on that?
Well, it was about a 12-hour call, to be honest with you. We started, it was around 5 p.m. maybe, and the arrest and the interviewing and all of that lasted a couple hours, and then the processing of the evidence and the report writing and all of the boring stuff took another.
But you have to do all that
for sure, yeah.
For the evidence and everything else. And
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Hey Illini fans, it's your girl Chineo Gumake. Catch Lonte and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
We got to make sure you're here at the end. That's what we do because we are here, Derek Piper. So, if you are interested in going for free to the Eastern Illinois basketball game Monday night, it's an 8 o'clock start, 8 o'clock tip at State Farm Center. I've got you 4 free tickets. 4 free tickets. Just text in Illini to 217-359-2255. That's Illini to 217-359-2255. Again, make sure you can go instead of, then all of a sudden we're sitting on 4 tickets. So if you would like to take your family and head, or just a bunch of friends or whatever, co-workers, and head to the Illinois game, again, 359-2255. Text that in right now. And at the end of the show, we will, I'll send you a text and let you know that you won, and we'll go from there. Kyle, what do we got? Oh, I got to turn your mic on. Sorry.
Few national games of
Hey, Kyle,
importance.
your mic is not hot. Your mic is not hot. Radio term. TV term. Broadcaster term. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a few national games of importance this week. Number 4, Clemson travels to South Bend to take on Notre Dame, who is quite the weird team this year.
How are they doing? What's up? They had that big game early on.
They have 2 horrible losses this year, but other than that, they've looked decent.
Pretty good.
They've played better of late. I got to check what they've done. I can't remember who they lost to.
Went to a game in South Bend a couple of years ago. That was really cool. It really, really, really was cool.
They're 5-3.
Okay.
One of those bad losses at home to Marshall. They also lost at home to Stanford. So they just are coming off a win at Syracuse, who's top 20 in the country.
I'll take Notre Dame. I'll take the Irish. I had a buddy, Hook, texting me this morning way early. Tony, Like, if you don't want to do the 6 a.m. text anymore, I'm okay with that, my friend. But he's like, hey, I think he was walking, listening to the podcast, and he's like, hey, I heard you guys talking about Notre Dame tight ends. How about their quarterbacks? Since Theismann and Montana. And he was listening. I'm like, ooh, yeah, good call.
Brady Quinn, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Clausen. Who else?
It's just ugly. It's ugly. Who was number 5? Was that Brady? That was Brady Quinn. I don't know what.
Him and Jeff Samardzija.
Oh, yeah.
Played
with the Cubs. Manti Te'o.
Yep.
Te'o. That was the weirdest thing ever, right?
Did you watch that Netflix thing about it?
Yes. Oh, man. All right, I'll take Notre Dame.
Clemson, I guess.
Number 6, Alabama.
It's funny that I've got Notre Dame beating Clemson.
It's pretty bold.
What the hell? I'm trying to get teams out of the way of Illinois, climbing up the college
There's
football
the motive.
Yep. Go ahead.
Number 6, Alabama.
They
and
lose.
number 10, LSU this weekend. That game is in Death Valley at LSU. Should be a
At
good
night?
one. It is. Yes, it is at 6 o'clock on
Nothing
ESPN.
better than LSU at night.
Ronnie will be coming back out to the tailgate lots, feeling really good after a big victory, and I'm like, what's on? Well, it's LSU at Alabama. Hey, that's awesome. How come the Bud Light's going? I will take. Wow, that's getting louder.
I'm telling you.
I'll take Bama. It's time for Bama to get right. I think they get right here.
They're 13.5 point
Are they
favorites.
really?
Wow. I do think they'll win.
Is Will Wade still coaching?
But that many points for LSU at home at night, be real tempted to take
the points.
LSU, but that's probably a public play, which means I'll probably lose.
You said going to break, or we had taken a break. Scott Van Pelt said he took Indiana. He took
plus
the points.
14.
I'm sorry, he took the points. Yeah.
They could win, but
I like that. All right.
And then the big one is from Athens, Georgia. Number 1, Tennessee.
Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. That's cool, man. Tell me that's not kind of cute. You know what?
yeah, it is.
Tennessee and Georgia.
I
love you, Vols, and I honestly love the Tennessee. I think it's because they're orange. So growing up, I always kind of liked them because I knew Illinois was my favorite team, and they were in orange. I'm going to take Georgia. I think the dream dies right here for the Vols.
It's hard to imagine one team beating Bama and Georgia in the same season,
Oh my
right?
goodness. Well, we're going to do it to Michigan and Ohio State.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I do believe. I believe that we will win. What was that?
USA Soccer. World Cup's coming up. Have you seen the ads? There's a lot of ads.
I have seen those. I would have rather have heard the Vuvuzelas or whatever those were.
Oh, wow.
The
Those are terrible.
Instead of, I believe that we will
Seriously.
win. I believe that we
I mean, it's a problem when you don't win.
Right. That's in Qatar. Or Qatar. It's like 184 degrees over there. That's all I'm going.
You pick Georgia. I will pick
the Dog.
Yeah, I'll pick Georgia.
Okay. So no Rocky Top.
Well, that only leaves one game left to give a pick on.
Kyle, who would you pick, Tennessee, Georgia?
I'm probably going to take Georgia at home.
I like your
Way
hat.
to be bold. I'm just kidding.
Yep. Copycat. Is that another new hat?
It is, yep.
Is this what you do? You buy new hats every week?
I'm a hat guy, man.
It's
I
one of
like
those
them.
fishing hats again. It's one of those fishnet hats. That is kind of, I like that hat. I just noticed that. Can I have it?
No.
Okay.
It does look like a fishing hat. I can imagine
It
him
does.
and Luke Goody out on
Yes.
the lake with those hats.
Putting your hook on it.
Yeah.
Throw a little chew in. Flip it out.
I'm down for that.
Get the willow pads. Let's get willow pads. Yeah, who are you taking? Illinois and...
We've moved on.
Yeah,
to
we
that.
moved on. Wait, go ahead. You haven't even introduced it. That's right, because Pipes asked you about Tennessee and Georgia. All right, go ahead. Do
Yeah,
your
Illinois
thing.
and Michigan State
yeah, that-
is the only game left to give a pick on. And I think Illinois will cruise in this one, 30-10.
I like it. I am worried about the weather in other words, keeping the scores down a little bit. But I'm going 27-10. That was what I had written down, just so you know I wasn't trying to copy you like you copy us. But I think Michigan State, look, again, we kind of went over the schedule. They've played Washington, they've played Michigan, they played Maryland, they played Ohio State. They haven't beaten them, but we're not going to come in here like all cooped up worried about this, even though Illinois' defense is number one in the country in about everything. I say they get 10, but Illinois gets this done 27-10. Now, this is kind of harrowing of me to pick basically 3 field goals. So I'm going to say 27-10. Illinois misses an extra point.
Oh, there you go.
I picked 4. I might have to rethink that. I did forget about the field goal.
Yeah.
See, I thought I was smart with my pick. That I did for Inquirer. 24-6, Illinois.
Ooh.
And it's not 2 field goals for Michigan State. It's a touchdown and a missed extra point.
I like it. Or they go for 2 late.
They could do that too.
Try to get back into it. I like it. So we all have Illinois.
I think it's one of those similar to last year against Minnesota, where Illinois takes an early lead, controls the game, doesn't do anything too fancy offensively, and just kind of home, get to Purdue week.
Chase Brown, man. Get the ball and go, my friend.
Purdue and Iowa? I don't think we did.
Well, I brought it up maybe, Lon.
I'm guessing I distracted.
Do you think that I know it's a big game regardless.
I think Purdue wins.
Yeah.
I think Purdue
I'm the same way.
Okay. I think Purdue wins. And then there's college game day on campus of the University of Illinois. Hail to the orange, hail to the blue. Illinois wins. Let's go. So we'll be 8-1. Why'd I have them at 6-1? I'm so shell-shocked by it that I just can't do it. Kyle, thank you, buddy. Thanks to everybody that texted in on the U of I Atlantic Lake text line. I'll get the winner of those tickets here soon. I'll text you back. And thank you to Luke Goody for coming in. Again, sponsored by Apple Dumpling, Max Twin City Recycling, Dogtown Heating and Air, and the U of I Alumni Association. He'll be on once a week throughout the season.
That would be awesome.
Again, we don't know exactly what day, which makes sense.
Yep. And thank you to Stephen Brooks, Spartan Tailgate. Filled us in on Sparty.
Not bad, Stephen. Maybe by now he's realized he's a millionaire because his family owns the Brooks chili beans. He joined us on the Dick Van Dyke Compliance Rural phone line. The music is going to run out. That means we're out. It is The Drive. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you in the tailgate lots.
This is Von Young. For the past 4 years, District 5 has been represented by 2 incumbents who now want